Today's question is, I have chronic UTIs or urinary tract infections. How do I stop them and why do I keep getting them? Hey there, welcome to Ask the Fertility Experts, a daily Q&A show where we'll be answering your fertility questions. I'm Sarah Clark, founder of Fab Fertile. We specialize in low AMH, high FSH, diminished ovarian reserve, and premature ovarian insufficiency or failure. I will be joined by Dr. Tabatha Barber. She is triple board certified in obstetrics, gynecology, menopause, and functional medicine. If you have a question, simply go to Fab Fertile Inc. on Instagram, leave me a DM and drop your question there, and we will answer your question on an upcoming show. That's Fab Fertile Inc. on Instagram. Take care. Today's question is, I have chronic UTIs or urinary tract infections. How do I stop them and why do I keep getting them? This is something that I had for years. And what did I do? I took heaps of antibiotics for every time I had one, and then completely destroyed my gut health. And I was in this vicious cycle of, it was peeing blood, and I didn't really know what to do. And then I became allergic to all the antibiotics, not until I changed my diet and lifestyle. And then, and if I do feel one coming on, there's some natural remedies. But what is your take as to why you'd be getting those, and how does that impact your fertility?
Well, you hit on the key point. It's about your microbiome. So we have these healthy bacteria that live all over us, on our skin, in our respiratory system, in our GI tract, in our vagina, in our, around our bladder. So we have bacteria that are trying to keep us healthy and balanced. And what they do is they create a layer, an environment that prevents bad bacteria from invading. And one of the key things we see with the bladder is if you have microbiome issues in your gut, it often extends to the vagina and bladder because they physically live in such a close proximity. The bad bacteria can migrate across your perineum, up your urethra, into your bladder. And so if you don't have good microbiome keeping those bad guys in check, they can run rampant. The other major issue we see a lot of times with POI is low estrogen. Estrogen is very protective to the bladder lining. So the estrogen causes this glucuronidation layer where it prevents those bacteria from invading into it. We see this a lot with interstitial cystitis and recurrent bladder infections. So that's a reason to get that estrogen level up to par, especially for younger women. I mean, without a doubt, it's very common to have bladder infections start to occur regularly after menopause. And the same thing happens with premature ovarian insufficiency. So in Sarah's case, I'm guessing you had low estrogen, you had major gut dysbiosis, and then we're giving you antibiotics to treat that bladder infection, but that antibiotic wipes out everybody, not just the bad guys, but also the good guys that are trying to protect you. And so I would be very judicious with your antibiotic use. Like, really make sure you have an active documented bladder infection with something that's, needs to be treated with an antibiotic, because oftentimes that's not the case. We just overprescribe it, any little discomfort. And like you said, we should be using other things. What is your favorite go-to, Sarah?
Yeah, I like D-mannose. I just have a little bit of that over a couple of days, and that just seems to, it's a little powder, and it seems to just stop it in its tracks. Is that something you use?
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there anything else that you recommend there?
Well, I also recommend making sure you're on a good probiotic. They now make probiotics for the bladder and vagina. And if this is an issue for you, you should try one of those.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love the probiotics. Definitely check out our Fab Fertile store. We have our favorite probiotic recommended in there. You can check it out. Thanks so much for being here. If you've got a question that you want answered, simply go to Fab Fertile Inc. on Instagram, send me a DM, and we will answer your question on an upcoming show. That's Fab Fertile Inc. and send me a DM. And please refer to our disclaimer below. Take care.